It's late July. Training camp is here. That means it's time to bring back Hit the Skins here on the Junks. And training camp coverage on 106.7 The Fan is presented by Paul Henry's Window Installation. PaulHenry'sWindows.com, your clear home improvement choice.
All right, lot to digest here. Just the first of many training camp days to just kind of give you the ins and outs. We'll just go through the tweets and the little nuggets that all the bloggers are documenting from camp. First of all, I do want to comment on those Guardian little helmet thingies that they're putting on top of their hats, their helmets.
Yep.
I think they're brutal. I would never be caught dead in one unless I had a serious head issue.
They're supposed to reduce concussions by, I think, at 10 to 20%.
That seems marginal.
Head trauma.
Seems marginal.
Limit your head trauma, EB.
All right. They look like clowns. They look like they're going to fall over.
Hey, Terry McLaurin was wearing one. Luke McCaffrey was wearing one. Those are just a few of the guys I saw wearing them.
I want these guys to be protected. They got to come up with something better
They
than that.
care about their long-term health.
They look like they're going to tip over. Do you see? They look like cartoon characters. They literally look
I know
ridiculous.
you won't get this reference, EB, but a lot of them look like Dark Helmet from Spaceballs. The
Don't
Star
get it.
Wars
Yeah, don't get the
spoof
reference.
from the 80s.
I mean,
by Mel
take your word
Brooks.
for it.
did you see any of the clips of any of the guys like around the league wearing these things?
I
They
think I
literally
saw.
look like they're going to tip over.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
You know that that got approved to wear in game.
I know. I saw that. Brutal.
I mean, look, these guys care about being able to
I do
walk
too.
and talk and
Come up with another
identify
solution.
their families after they're done playing football.
Come up with
So
another solution.
If they need a big, giant, bulbous helmet add-on, and I'm sure that they'll tweak it as we go, I don't have a problem with it. I will adapt.
I
This
can't
is
adapt.
adaptable cakes right here.
I can't adapt. They look ridiculous.
They just look very, very. They look like.
They look all top heavy. They
Yeah,
just
they look like
you're
you're just
fall
gonna.
over.
Yeah,
Like you're
But-
gonna tip over.
but like Cakes is
and
saying,
for a
I mean,
10% increase,
well, 10% is better than 0%.
use the Q collar that my guy Ryan Keel pushes.
Bill Romanowski was wearing. Remember that collar he wore
A
back
ton
in
of
the day?
football guys are wearing them. A ton of lacrosse guys are wearing that. It kind of stabilizes your neck, and it somehow gets the blood
Maybe
flow
the
going.
Guardian helmet thing's more effective. Maybe that's why they're wearing it.
Isn't it pretty much a lock? 100% of NFL players get concussions.
Yes.
I would-
Or
I
maybe
would
not
ass-
kickers.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Maybe not kickers and
It's
punters.
the hazard. It's a hazard of the business.
Yeah. So if you're gonna, increase it or decrease it by 10%, I mean, we'll take
All right.
that.
Find a better way.
You don't like it.
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
It offends your sensibilities.
I'm vain. I don't like it.
But those have been around forever.
Those big old things? Well, I've only noticed them the last couple of years.
I mean,
I've only
certain
noticed them the last couple of
players
years.
used to wear. Maybe they weren't called Guardians. Maybe they were made out of something different. But
Some
There
guys
have been
would
Steve-
have.
I think Steve Wallace, the
Yeah,
old
but it
tackle,
wasn't like
He
this.
definitely had one.
he
No,
had
he
one.
had like a double
and he played
helmet.
in the 80s and 90s.
I know, but it wasn't like this.
No, I agree. But it was an oversized, protective dome.
I never really watched the Smurf. For some reason, it makes me think of the Smurfs or something. Did they have big heads?
No, but they all wore these like curly white hats,
Oh,
almost like Santa hats, but I think they were white because
Yeah.
the Smurfs obviously were blue.
right.
You juxtapose them with the white on top of their heads.
I literally can't stand them. But okay.
Tell us how you feel about him.
I'm just, got to be me.
All right.
All right. So all eyes on Jayden Daniels, getting a lot of positives, of course, which you would expect. Every you could pretty much go through and see every first-round draft pick quarterback or new quarterback is going to get rave reviews on day one of training camp. So let's, we'll just be cool about it. I'm excited. But Drabby tells me I should take some real, comfort in Kurt Benker, who's a former NFL backup, who I guess Drabby says is like a gaming star online. He's like a Madden star. He's got a
Okay.
huge following.
Is he big in the Twitch streets, Drab?
Twitch
Is that
and
what you're trying to
kick and
tell
all
us?
that.
Twitch, breaking down. He does a lot of Madden and now college football.
Okay.
Breaking down, teach you how to play.
Is he the
streams.
next Dan Orlovsky? Are you trying to say he's going to be the next guy? That's
Well,
gonna
he's
cross over?
he's also an analyst for like Sleeper and a couple other places. So
For what?
Sleeper, it's like a fantasy app.
Oh,
Got
okay.
YouTube videos breaking down.
I have at
You
You know
least
what? Let's
one
get him on
league
the let's get him
Sleeper.
on the show.
I've tried a million times.
Oh,
It's too easy.
impossible.
Too hard? Okay. Well,
Need
anyway,
BT's radio.
Benkert
Oh, okay.
is a guy who's gone out there, and here's the tweet. All I'm saying is what I'm seeing from Jayden Daniels in this early footage should give Commanders fans a lot of faith in the direction of the franchise. He's doing little nuanced things in these clips as a passer. And then he does put in parentheses, albeit in practice, that any coach around the league would be super impressed by. Looks like a vet as far as a passer goes with his anticipation and accuracy. So high praise. And I think I'm going to take an ex-NFL quarterback's praise a little higher than just the average Joe over there,
Just
like
a
you
media
or me
member
watching
them.
and trying to give you some sort of anecdote.
Okay.
So, good. But a lot of people were out there. If you of course, you got to follow our guys, J.P. Finley, Russell.
Linnell Willingham was out at camp.
was out there.
Toby Altizer was out at camp.
Yes.
Got it covered.
Yeah, so, follow all
I
our guys.
drove by yesterday
We
because
love John Kime.
I was getting my car washed, which is pretty close to Ashburn or Commander's Park. There were so many cars.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not letting the public in yet, I don't think. I don't think the public can come in until
Sunday might be the
Sunday.
first open to the public.
So I don't know where and I'm not talking about cars in the parking lot because those are all players, coaches, execs, whatever, employees. I'm talking about cars outside of the gate. Now, they do have a lot of
Are
construction
they like
going.
autograph guys? Is that what they're trying to do? Or
I don't know. There were millions of cars parked outside of the gate on the grassy area. Now, maybe a lot of that is construction workers because they are doing some
Could
stuff.
be.
But, man, there was a lot of I can't imagine the car's going to be over there on Sunday when the public's there.
Valdez, did you find the audio? So Terry McLaurin addressed the media recently, and I know at one point he talks about Jayden Daniels. Care to hear what he has to say?
I would like to hear.
My objective in that situation is try to make that DB feel my speed and kind of get a quick release. And I think what he talked about after that was really important, where even if that DB may be playing in your back hip, like ball placement is very key in those situations. And I think he did a great job. You want to try to leave that ball either low and away or high on my outside shoulder so I can, even if it's a bang-bang play, I have a chance to get it versus you leave the ball inside, then it could get a little muddy. So he just has a natural feel for that, and you can see it by the way he operates, but also by his actions as well. And it's not always going to be perfect, but just to have that mindset, I'm expecting that now. So when I come out my routes, I have a good idea where he's going to put it.
Pretty good stuff.
Like
Gakes.
to hear that.
I have some other quotes,
team
just kind of
leader.
along the same lines, okay? He naturally has a good feel of where to position the ball, whether it's an in-breaking route, out-breaking route, ball down the field. A lot of the things he just naturally has the ability to have a feel for the game, which is very unique for any quarterback, let alone a rookie. The more reps we get, it's just going to make us better. This is Terry McLaurin speaking. The good thing about it is he's extremely communicative, and I am too, so that really helps the relationship grow quicker. I just think the best thing for us to continue to talk about the reps that we have in practice in the film room. So, glowing. Now, listen, Terry's a team guy,
Yes.
and he hyped up Heineke. He hyped up Wentz. He hypes up everybody. But still, it's good to hear some of these things. And then when you throw that in with like ex-NFL quarterbacks, I know that there are some ex-players that are like league executives that are media guys. The Commanders are kind of the sexy watch out for team.
Like a chic pick.
Not that they're going to make some sort of scary playoff run, but market improvement.
Yeah.
I think they're the team that people are kind of targeting as that's a team to watch out for. That's a team on the rise.
Do you
I
think
think that's fair.
Do you think the hype / sleeper pick of the Commanders would be the sexy pick if it weren't for C.J. Stroud last year?
I think that has something to do with it.
Like, do you think C.J.
right.
Stroud
That
is,
recency
Like if he
effect.
didn't-
is making
if he didn't
everyone
do that-
trying to pick the next
Probably.
Texans / C.J. Stroud?
Probably. But I still think they'd be excited about Jayden.
No, you got to have a new quarterback. I think most people will be excited, but I think the bar has risen because of CJ.
CJ has
Definitely.
made people think
That it's possible.
to turn around in 1 year. Yeah. Now maybe that'll backfire, and Jayden will really struggle because all rookies are going to struggle at times.
Yeah, I think most
but-
people are forgetting because of what Stroud did last year that a lot of times it's a minefield for the rookies.
Yeah.
It's not always smooth sailing. It's not always going to be 25 touchdowns and 9 or 10 picks. Like
Correct.
that's
right.
those sorts of numbers are outliers.
And sometimes it's a little better. Like, look at what Bryce Young did, #1 overall pick.
right.
Yeah. Struggled. Yep.
Sometimes it's better to almost be under the radar. And I don't think you could say
They're
that
not under the radar.
Jayden Daniels is under the radar.
No.
Like, everybody's kind of high on him. And so that does give me a little
I
bit
mean, they're doing the
pause.
same thing, I'm sure, in Chicago because of Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there's more expectations for Caleb.
I think, but I've heard a lot of people think
just based on
being the #1.
Ball being the #1 pick, but just based on what their projections are for win totals,
People love his receivers and all of that.
I
saw that
8.5 wins for a rookie to go 9 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that C.J. Stroud did it, but it's still very difficult.
I saw that our buddy Danny Rouillet is kind of tempering his expectations. I read his tweet this morning. He's tempering his expectations because he's disappointed that they didn't do more to solidify the offensive line and to add another real weapon at receiver. I think those are valid points. I'm trying to be positive, so I'm trying to hope that they somehow have patched together this line a little better than they did the year before. And I'm hoping that I feel like Dotson's going to have a real bounce back season, and I am bizarrely infatuated with Luke McCaffrey because of the bloodlines.
I don't think it's bizarre to have.
Well, he was playing
intrigue
quarterback
about
3
him.
years ago, but what is impressive is he didn't make the transition and like it's all like, like Alex Sarr, like the guy who only, caught 10 balls or something. Like Alex Sarr, we're projecting, we don't know. He produced. When they moved McCaffrey to receiver, he put up numbers.
Yeah.
And that's gets me excited. Like it's not just all on paper theoretical. And then the other thing is, from camp yesterday, speaking of receivers, Kaz Allen is the one that a lot of people were hyping up. Had a big day yesterday. He's a guy that's been on and off the roster, undrafted free agent, can return punts. He's a quick guy, so might be making a little name for himself early on. Seems like every training camp,
there's always
a receiver
Yes.
that kind of breaks out a little bit and finds his way onto the roster. JP always mocks it because then they never really do anything. There's some truth to that, for sure. But he is a valuable guy in the fact that he can return punts, too. So keep an eye out for Kaz Allen, who a lot of people were hyping up on day one.
Who was your receiver that you fell in love with?
Billy McMullen.
Yes.
Oh, from UVA?
Well, the other one was Steve Sims.
Yeah.
I really like Steve Sims.
Yeah.
No, the McMullen.
McMullen.
Yes.
McMullen, I liked him at UVA. That's who I liked at UVA, and I
Right.
projected that it would.
You projected big things.
I thought he could be a contributor. It never really happened.
Nope.
Big catch Billy.
Big
Yeah.
catch Bill.
Big catch, Billy.
Yeah.
Didn't really happen.
But, yeah, so it's happening over there in Ashburn.
Yep. Lurch is
Cakesy.
gonna take one for the team. Go over there on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to go there
Scouting.
Saturday and Sunday all day.
Both days.
Yep, both day, all day.
As you should.
You're gonna get some video.
It's called
or tweet it
dedication.
for
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, for hours I'm going to be
Get
over
some
there.
video of Jayden throwing into the net.
Yeah, I'm
Then
gonna
ask
do
some
that.
questions.
Yeah,
afterwards.
I'm going to do all of that.
All right, we'll talk more Commanders a bit later in the show. Nikki Jalvala, Commanders reporter for the Washington Post, will join us coming up at 8 o'clock. So don't go anywhere.